You know, we see so many headlines that are designed to make us gasp. They're loud, they're scary, and they often leave out the most important parts of the story. I want to start with a different kind of headline, one you probably haven't seen. A man in Texas was sound asleep one night when his house caught fire. Smoke was filling the rooms. He was completely unaware. His pit bull, however, was wide awake. The dog didn't just bark a little, it nudged, it pushed, it practically dragged him out of bed. It refused to give up until the entire family was safely outside. That dog was a hero. A small moment, one story out of millions. It makes you stop and think, doesn't it? It challenges the narrative we've been fed for so long. When we hear the words pit bull, our minds jump to fear, shaped by sensational news clips and dramatic movie scenes. We've been conditioned to expect the worst. But what if the real story is more complex, more nuanced, more hopeful? What if the truth isn't in the scary headlines, but in quiet moments of loyalty and love that happen in homes every single day? Today, I want to talk about that. Pull back the curtain on one of the most misunderstood animals in the world. We're not ignoring the difficult parts, but we are going to look at the whole picture. We'll explore history, the facts, the powerful bond. It's a conversation about responsibility, perception, and kindness. Let's dig in. Every dog deserves its story told fairly, with an open heart. This isn't about forcing you to adopt tomorrow, though some might be inspired, and that's wonderful. It's about taking a gentle step back from preconceived notions, encouraging dialogue based on understanding, not judgment. So, what exactly is a pit bull? It sounds like a simple question, but the answer is surprisingly complicated. It's not actually one single breed of dog. The term is more like an umbrella, a label we use for several different breeds that share similar physical traits. American Pit Bull Terrier, Staffordshire Bull Terrier, American Staffordshire Terrier, among others. Because there isn't one clear definition, it often comes down to how a dog looks. A strong, muscular body, a broad head, and a short coat. This ambiguity is the first layer of the problem. We're often judging a whole group of dogs without even knowing for sure who belongs in that group. This confusion has led to a lot of misunderstanding, and frankly, a lot of unfairness. Imagine being judged not by who you are, but by a vague description of what you look like. That's the reality for these dogs. Many people see them and immediately feel a sense of fear, associating them with aggression and danger. This perception has real-world consequences: neighbors crossing the street to avoid them, landlords refusing to rent to their owners. It's a heavy burden for any animal to carry, especially when all they want is a soft bed, a good belly rub, and a person to love. On the other side of this great divide are the people who know and love these dogs. They see something entirely different: goofy smiles, enthusiastic tail wags, and an endless capacity for affection. For these owners, their dog isn't a statistic or a stereotype. It's a cherished member of the family. They see the loyalty, the sensitivity, and the gentle nature that the headlines so often miss. Let's be honest, the public is deeply divided on pit bulls, and the feelings are intense. On one hand, many view these dogs with real fear and suspicion. This fear isn't born from nothing. It's fueled by news reports of attacks. When someone hears a story about a child being harmed, protective instincts kick in, and they naturally link the breed with danger. It becomes a mental shortcut. Pit bull equals risk. That fear has driven breed-specific legislation, BSL, in hundreds of cities and towns across the country, and even in entire countries. Laws restrict or ban pit bull-type dogs. Supporters say it's to protect their communities. Their goal is public safety. On the other side, passionate advocates, owners, and rescuers see a different animal. They blame a media frenzy and decades of misinformation. They point to millions of pit bulls living peacefully in homes. For them, a pit bull is just a strong dog whose temperament is shaped by care, training, and socialization, not DNA. One person sees a loving companion, another sees a ticking time bomb. Advocates fight BSL, saying it punishes innocent dogs and responsible owners and ignores root causes like neglect, abuse, and lack of training. They champion punish the deed, not the breed, pushing for laws that target reckless owners and individual dangerous dogs. Whether the problem is the breed or the person holding the leash is the heart of the debate. This essay is our chance to walk the middle ground to explore why these two realities can exist at the same time. To really understand pit bulls, we have to go back in time, way back to 19th century England. Back then, the cruel sport of bull baiting, the cruel sport of bear baiting. People bred bulldogs for their strength and tenacity to participate in these events. When these blood sports were finally outlawed, a new, more sinister one took its place: dog fighting. Breeders crossed powerful bulldogs with quicker, more agile terriers. The result? The ancestor of the pit bull terrier. Strong, courageous, determined. Crucial detail: bred for aggression toward other animals, but aggression toward humans was actively bred out. Handlers needed dogs they could step in and manage without getting bitten. Dogs that bit people were deemed unreliable and often culled. Immigrants brought these dogs to the United States. On farms and ranches, they became all-purpose working dogs, herding livestock, protecting families from predators, steadfast companions for pioneers. They became a symbol of American grit and loyalty. In the early 20th century, pit bulls appeared on Army recruitment posters and as corporate mascots like RCA's Nipper. They earned the nickname America's Dog. Trusted, brave, gentle with children, even called nanny dogs. Archival photos show pit bulls posing affectionately with kids, a far cry from today's image. For a long time, they were cherished American family pets. Their current reputation is a much more recent development. So, what happened? If pit bulls were once America's dog, how did they become the poster child for canine aggression? The answer, in large part, lies in the media. Starting in the late 1970s and early 1980s, the narrative began to change. As dogfighting experienced a grim resurgence in certain subcultures, the media started to connect pit bulls with criminals and violence. Stories of their use as guard dogs for illegal operations or their involvement in organized fighting rings began to dominate the news cycle, painting the dogs as accessories to a dangerous lifestyle. This shift was cemented by a series of high-profile, sensationalized news stories. When a dog attack occurred, the breed became the headline. The phrase pit bull attack became a powerful, fear-inducing term that sold newspapers and kept viewers glued to their screens. Other breeds involved in similar incidents rarely received the same scrutiny. A bite from a golden retriever was often reported as dog bite, while a bite from a pit bull was a pit bull attack, distorting perceptions. Think about the power of repetition. If you hear something over and over again, you start to believe it, whether it's the whole truth or not. Movies and TV amplified this effect, often casting pit bulls as the default scary dog to add menace. They became a visual shorthand for danger. This constant barrage of negative imagery, combined with a lack of positive counter-narratives, eroded their historical reputation and replaced it with the image of an unpredictable monster. The result is a classic case of confirmation bias. Once the idea is planted, people notice stories that confirm it and ignore those that don't. This imbalance doesn't just shape opinion. It has devastating consequences for loving dogs sitting in shelters, waiting for a home that may never come. When we try to use data to settle the pit bull debate, things get messy very quickly. Several organizations collect statistics on dog bites, but their methods and conclusions often differ. Some studies rely on media reports to identify the breed involved. The media is more likely to name the breed if it's a pit bull, which can skew the numbers. It's a feedback loop of bad data. Another huge challenge is breed identification itself. Even experts struggle to ID breeds by sight. One study found shelter workers guessed mixed breed genetics correctly only about a quarter of the time. When a bite is reported, the breed is often named by a bystander with little breed knowledge. Many dogs labeled as pit bulls may have no pit bull DNA at all. Experts, AVMA and CDC, agree a dog's tendency to bite is influenced by socialization, training, spay, neuter, proper containment, and the behavior of the humans around it. A dog that is chained, unsocialized, neglected, is at much higher risk of becoming dangerous, regardless of whether it's a poodle, a beagle, or a pit bull. Focusing solely on breed is like solving a puzzle with a missing piece. It distracts from real solvable problems. Responsible dog ownership is the key. Proper training, socialization from a young age, ensuring the dog fits the family's lifestyle, never, ever tethering a dog for long periods. Shift focus from breed to owner behavior and individual circumstances, and we get closer to safer communities for people and pets. It's not as simple as blaming a breed, but it's far more effective. Now for my favorite part, the stories that prove these dogs are so much more than their reputation. Let's talk about real-life pit bull heroes. Visual beat. A gentle-looking pit bull wearing a therapy dog vest, resting its head on the lap of an elderly person in a wheelchair. There's the story of Lily, who pulled her unconscious owner off of a set of railroad tracks just moments before a freight train came roaring through. Lily was severely injured in the process, but she saved a life. She didn't hesitate. Her loyalty and bravery were instinctual. That's not the behavior of a mindless monster. That's a devoted companion. Then there are the quieter heroes, who save lives with steady daily support. An increasing number of pit bulls are trained as service and therapy animals. They work with veterans suffering from PTSD, provide a calming presence during panic attacks, assist people with mobility issues, help children with autism, and bring comfort to the elderly. Consider Elle, named the American Humane Association's Hero Dog of the Year. She works in North Carolina, helping teach children about dog safety and prejudice, visiting schools and community centers. She is a living example of gentleness and patience, breaking down stereotypes one lick and tail wag at a time. These are not isolated incidents. For every negative headline, there are thousands of untold stories of pit bulls who are loving, gentle family members, curling up for story time, greeting with full-body wiggles, standing as steadfast guardians. These stories matter immensely. They are the truth that gets lost in the noise. They show the incredible capacity for love and loyalty that exists within these dogs when they are given the chance they so richly deserve. It would be irresponsible and dishonest not to acknowledge the other side of this story. Tragic incidents involving pit bulls do happen, and when they do, the consequences can be devastating for the families and communities involved. We cannot and should not dismiss the pain and fear. Every story of an attack is a tragedy. It's our duty to understand why they happen and to prevent them in the future. When we look closer, a pattern often emerges. Backgrounds of neglect, abuse, isolation. Kept on heavy chains, deprived of positive human interaction, never taught how to behave appropriately. In some instances, intentionally trained for aggression by irresponsible owners, for protection or for fighting. These are not dogs who just snapped out of nowhere. They are the products of a toxic environment. Owner behavior is almost always a contributing factor. A powerful, energetic dog like a pit bull requires an owner who is committed, knowledgeable, responsible. Each incident should prompt critical questions. Was the dog properly contained? Did it have a history of neglect? Was the owner known to be irresponsible? By focusing on root causes, we can create effective solutions, stronger animal cruelty laws, mandatory spay, neuter programs in some areas, better public education, and holding reckless owners accountable to protect the public and the reputation of good dogs. So, where do we go from here? How do we move past the fear and the stereotypes to build a safer, kinder world for both people and pit bulls? The answer lies in a multifaceted approach that focuses on education, responsibility, compassion, First and foremost, prioritize education for dog owners. Everyone needs fundamentals of socialization, training, animal behavior. A well-socialized dog is a confident dog, and a confident dog is far less likely to react with fear or aggression. Secondly, support local shelters and rescues. They are on the front lines, often overflowing with pit bull-type dogs who wait longer for adoption because of appearance. By volunteering, fostering, or donating, you help provide the care and training these dogs need to become wonderful family members. We must also advocate for fair and effective laws. Breed-specific legislation is ineffective. Instead, support laws that focus on owner behavior and the individual dog. Leash laws, anti-tethering ordinances, stricter penalties for cruelty and neglect are far more effective at preventing dog bites. When we hold people accountable, we create safer communities, and we stop punishing innocent dogs for the way they look. Finally, be part of the change. The story of the pit bull is a story of extremes, misunderstood victims, or cherished heroes, and the difference almost always comes down to the people in their lives. Let's choose kindness, understanding, and a second chance. Share your own stories. Open your heart to the possibility that what you've been told might not be the whole story. Because these goofy, loving, loyal dogs are more than a headline. They are individuals with hearts full of love to give, just waiting for us to see them. Tell me your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Pit bulls can be both heroes and misunderstood villains depending on individual circumstances. Let's focus on responsible ownership, real data, and the full story. Add and subscribe, like, share, and comment to join us. Share your stories in the comments section. And check out our next video on animal behavior, how body language can prevent bites and build trust. Thanks for watching.